so hard, an alliance slowly forming like a boner in my heart. So if you wanna fucking friend me, better give me all you got. No, I don't take this lightly, cause it's heavy, heavy friendly.
There is an eagle flying. Yeah!
Hey, frienders,
Hi.
welcome to episode 2 of this special 2-episode double whammy of heavy friending.
Hey,
We
it's,
recorded that last one so long ago, it feels like I'm not even the same person anymore.
It was so long ago, and a lot
Who
of
was
people
she?
were upset that it's taken this long.
To put it out? Yeah, especially
me.
because I think
It
we
was
had,
me.
We had
That
just
girl
said-
was me.
Well, it's funny you
quote.
say that because the one before that you had for a very long time.
We
Remember?
suck.
Yeah.
We suck.
Also, I never put up the bonus
And that's why, oh my
for that
God.
one. Yeah.
Our
I'm sorry,
patrons-
we got busy. It happened. A lot of
Guys,
stuff.
we're
a lot
popular.
happened.
We're in demand.
Well, not
Thank
the podcast,
you for
but
coming
us as people.
to the show.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
I'm talking to you specifically.
Oh, well,
'Cause
you
I've
came
been
here.
I've been hosting a show by myself. It's been real
Remember
sad.
when I went to Italy with my family and you did an April Fool's episode and it was about you like starting a new podcast?
I guess I don't. You
And
saying you went to
my-
Italy doesn't sound familiar.
And
to me.
it was like during our first season and it was April Fool's and you did the funny episode like you were starting your own podcast and multiple people were messaging me like, yo, while you've been gone, Joe started another podcast. And they weren't joking.
He pirated the stream, dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they thought you stole it.
Well, and it's nice that they thought the quality on that was good, good enough for me to destroy the
Yeah.
heavy friending legacy.
That
And at this
hurts.
point, guys, it is a legacy. We're Austin's
becoming a
number
legacy.
one friendship-based
And that's the truth.
podcast. Things are happening. We're
Yeah.
not going to talk about the future of this podcast, but Laura and I are excited.
Yeah.
We are energized. I don't know if you can hear it in my voice,
I can hear it.
but it's saliva. It's wet.
I have a lot of saliva in my mouth too. I didn't
Well-
drink enough water today.
I've
You know, it's like, ugh.
so I don't have a refrigerator right now, and we'll get into that later. But I love cold water,
Oh my God.
and I haven't been
You
drinking as
take
much.
things for granted. And then when you don't have them, you realize.
Then you really know.
Yeah.
And so to all my friends out there with cold water,
Enjoy it.
enjoy it
Yeah. Say
And
thank you.
treasure
Know.
it.
Yeah.
and drink it.
Drink it. So this is Heavy Friending, Austin's number one friendship-based podcast. I am Laura Lee Bishop, sitting
Oh.
here with my best friend, Joe Barlow. We started
Hey.
this podcast as complete strangers, and now we are best friends.
And this is a good podcast. There's a lot of podcasts. Everyone has a podcast. Everyone and their mother.
Oh, my God. Every devil and his daddy is what I like to say.
Well, either way.
Hmm.
But the point is, this is one of the good ones. You know, only subscribe to 4 podcasts, and I would say the top 4 are this podcast.
Number one, yeah.
Number 2, I love Malcolm Gladwell's podcast. It's called Revisionist History.
Yeah.
Number 3, Comedy Bang Bang.
Love it.
And number 4, I actually love this new Vox podcast.
Okay.
It's about science. I forget what it's called. What are your top 4?
Definitely our podcast is number one.
Okay, great. I don't listen to ours though. I just know it's good.
Well, we listen to it when we edit it, and it is interesting. And
It's
and
nice you said
have-
we.
Well, I was
Thank
going to
you.
say you have picked up some of the slack, but over the when you think of our entire oeuvre, is that how you say it? Oeuvre?
I don't know.
When you think about our whole, all of our episodes, you've
Yeah.
done a teensy tiny fraction of them,
Yeah.
but I appreciate you editing a few,
And
so you've heard those at least.
I'm glad you acknowledge that.
Sometimes. So
But back
I
to your
hate
top
edit
podcasts before you say what you hate.
This one I do listen to Comedy Bang Bang.
Good.
I listen to Threedom,
Okay, which is
Which is
basically a
basically
Comedy Bang Bang spinoff.
but it's like what I kind of want Comedy Bang Bang to be.
Oh, just
It's
more
what
real.
it's what our podcast is. That's the thing that I when we are always talking about having a point or a mission or a goal when we're talking about it, like a point
We're
to our
very
podcast.
mission based
Well, missionaries.
positions.
Yes,
Some of the-
style.
honestly, that's my favorite position.
This is an interesting intro we're doing.
I know.
It's like almost should we stop, but we're not going to.
No,
we're going to keep going.
No, I'm glad.
Yeah. It's
And
just
that's what the
friends.
people
I'm
want.
not listening to it because they're famous because they're really not.
Yeah.
Scott Aukerman, Lauren Lapkus, Paul F. Tompkins. They're
Not famous.
famous like that where you like want to know about their lives. I'm listening to it because it's three friends talking.
Three friends. And the bonus of Heavy Friending, our podcast that
Mm-hmm.
you're listening to, is that Laura and I are famous. So you get that
Well, yeah,
added
yeah.
bonus. We're famous and we're friends. So it's famous friends.
We're definitely Austin famous. I'm going to give us that.
Me?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah, definitely. You're definitely.
That's
I haven't
true.
had any coffee companies ask me to fucking be an influencer for them.
Well, I mean, I guess it provokes the question, is
It provokes it.
is an influencer famous? And I'm a micro influencer.
Sure, yeah.
I have a really profound effect on about 10 people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And
well,
everyone associates coffee with me because my name is Joe.
Yeah.
And literally everyone
all
has like
coffee.
pitched a cup of Joe segment to me. Like
wait,
literally,
you actually used to do
like I
Cup of Joe, didn't
I
you?
didn't even like
On the
coffee that
news?
much. Yeah, there was a segment called Cup
because
of
I
Joe.
was on it with you,
And
we were wearing matching Christmas
at
shirts.
thechive.com, they pitched a sales segment called Cup of Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And at my old job, people bought me coffee like for my birthday. And I didn't even like it that much. But they were like, Joe likes coffee.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I drink it,
Yeah,
but I'm not like,
it's not you don't want it as a gift.
everyone thinks it's my identity though.
Yeah, yeah,
And it's not.
yeah. But
There's
it's
so
also
many
opened
more-
so many doors for you. So don't be
That's
be
true.
picky.
So
okay?
you've said 3 podcasts.
Fourth, I don't know. I'm going to get mad when I don't think of the fourth one. I told you I was listening to the H3 podcast,
I
which
don't
is
even know what that is.
well, it's Frenemy. It's called Frenemies,
Oh,
but there was
oh.
like an offshoot of H3
Right.
podcast, and then that ended because I got in a big fight. So I started listening to the actual podcast because I wanted to support him because the other person is like crazy.
Yeah.
But it's not good. Like
Got it.
it's crazy to me how popular you can be and not their production value is great because they're very rich. Like
Yeah.
they've had so much success on YouTube.
They hired someone, they
He's-
bought the right equipment.
Love him to death. Not funny.
Not
at
funny.
all. Like just not funny. And
Mm-hmm.
it's crazy to me that many people when he every episode is live. He goes live on the episode. And when I watch the episode, it's like it'll say it was uploaded 5 minutes ago because it went live and then it uploaded and it's already had like 500,000
Wow.
plays. Yeah,
Well,
it's
he goes
crazy.
live.
He does the podcast live. Yeah.
We could do it live.
well, we could do it live.
And
We'll talk about it later.
I could be topless.
We'll talk about it later. I think that'll get a strike on YouTube. We gotta look into the YouTube policies.
Yeah.
But guys, big things are happening for Heavy Friending.
Big things.
Changes are going on. And so since the last episode, I don't know how long it's been, but like a month?
It could be more. It could be 2 months. I mean,
No,
we really
it
don't
hasn't
know.
been 2 months.
I don't know because
Has it been 2
should
months?
I break news?
Yeah, break news.
You got COVID-19.
Okay.
Right? Or
Yes.
is the Delta variant called COVID-19?
It's COVID-21, I guess.
Yeah, you would think. And did you get the Delta variant? I don't even know because
They couldn't tell me, but I got the Delta variant.
I
mean,
was
that's
worried-
the only one going around. It's like the 90, it's like 90 something.
everyone's
percent.
getting Delta now. But I was worried to text you because I didn't want to get the virus from you.
From me, from texting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's hard to know how you get it. I am fully vaccinated, but I did get COVID. And what's interesting is I am very aware, of course, of my nose, throat, and my ear, nose, and throat. I'll throw the ears in there too.
Ears, you have great ears. You
As a
gotta
singer,
listen.
I'm very in touch with when things are changing.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always, like freaking out that someone's going to get me sick all the time.
I know.
And that's aside from COVID. That's just me not wanting to get a cold before a show.
You an
So-
early mask adopter before anyone in the
wait.
United States was wearing them.
Definitely. I love that people are wearing masks now. I hope that we continue to do it forever. But I was going home for my birthday.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday. You were the first person.
Oh, yeah.
Joe Barlow was the first person to wish me a happy birthday this year.
Before your mom, before your sister,
Yeah.
before your husband?
I mean, technically, we had kind of like celebrated my birthday and they give me presents, but it was like on my actual birthday, you
Don't
were the
count.
first one to say happy birthday.
Don't count.
Yeah.
Don't count. So I beat your husband.
Yeah.
I beat other people you say are your best friends.
Yeah.
Yep.
You were the first one.
Just want everyone to know. I'm probably going to send this clip to all of them.
Please. You were the first one, period.
Thank you.
So anyway, I was driving home for my birthday. And on the way, I noticed that I was getting a bit of a stuffy nose. And because I was going to be around my mom and my sister, and because I had heard people were getting breakthrough infections, on the way into my hometown, there was an urgent care sort of place that was doing testing. Called them on the way. They said, come on in.
Come on in.
I go in and I get my COVID test. While I'm sitting in the waiting room, now, let me tell y'all, when I say it was literally, it wasn't like I had a sore throat. It was just a sniffle, but
Yeah,
I felt.
but you knew.
I went, hang on.
You said, this feels like a spiked protein.
It just, something went right. So I'm sitting in the waiting room and a woman walks in with two snotty little fucking kids.
Oh,
Literal
no.
snot, you know?
Yeah.
And like one's got her head down and she's like, oh, she's probably like 6. And she's like, oh, the little boy's fine.
Okay.
None of them have masks on.
Well,
She walks up to the window and says, my daughter has 101 fever and her teacher and a few of her classmates have tested positive for COVID. I said, bye. I said, bye. I stood up. I went outside and stood outside and I called to the place and I said, y'all can come get me from outside.
Yeah.
Because I'm not sitting in the room. I'm not going to get COVID trying to get a COVID
well,
test.
what did the hospital, did they say mask up?
No, nothing.
motherfuckers?
Because this is Gilmer, Texas.
Yeah.
Okay. A bunch of dumb fucking idiots. So I went outside. I said, nope, I'm not doing that. So I stood outside, waited for my test. Little did I know, I had COVID too.
You already had COVID. Yeah.
I already had it. Had I known, I'd have been like, come over here, kid, giving her a big hug and a kiss.
Well, the
you know?
thing with the kid,
Don't
I
kiss
bet-
kids though.
I think if you get COVID from a kid, it's probably worse because they're so
They're gross.
dirty.
They're so
and-
fucking gross.
Yeah, like it's not going to be good. So
No.
I hope you didn't get it from a kid.
Well, I don't think I haven't been around any children. I don't know who I got it from because I've only been around vaccinated people.
Yeah.
I'm thinking I might know where I got it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Anyway, so got my
Yeah,
test.
but you would never
the
know
doctor
for
comes
sure.
in to give me the test. He's got the mask down under his nose.
Well, yeah,
Nose
you got to
fully out.
let the nose breathe.
I'm pretty sure he wasn't a doctor. No offense to anyone out there who's a PA, but I don't think this guy was a doctor. I think he was a physician's assistant. Anyway, he gave me a nose swab, and
You'd think he'd be concerned.
no, not at all. He wasn't concerned at all.
Unless he
So
had it or whatever.
I progressively though on the drive, I noticed my nose was getting worse. You know what I'm saying? I
what
was
do you
starting
mean
to
by
feel-
worse? Like wet?
It was just getting more stuffy, and I was feeling like a little tickle in my throat.
I guess what I'm asking is, was it dripping?
Like dripping. What do you mean?
Yeah, like, a nose
Pouring
would
out of my
drip
ma-
with a liquid snot, and I'm asking if that would.
No, it was stuff. It wasn't.
So it was hard. Was it
stuffy.
hard inside? You know how sometimes it gets dried out, and then it's like
No, it was
hard.
like I could feel a infection creating itself in my face.
Why are you being
But it
cagey
wasn't
about
broken.
this?
It wasn't draining. It was
so
just growing.
when you blew in a Kleenex,
Nothing would come out. It was congested.
Okay.
It was too much to come out. You know what I'm saying?
finally, this is what people
God.
wanted to know.
Okay, so because I wanted to be really careful, I was like, when I got to the house, I was like, don't touch me, don't touch anything, stay away from me. And we all masked. And my mom had like a face shield
Good.
on, and we kept our distance. They still gave me my birthday presents. I had a Lord of the Rings themed birthday party.
Wow.
And my mom was like, I'm not going to decorate. And I walked up to the front door, and on the front door was this sign right here. I'm going to show you.
Okay, she's showing me a sign, and it says in the Lord of the Rings font,
Mm-hmm.
no admittance, no, excuse me,
Yeah.
take one.
Do it with an accent, please.
What is the accent?
I don't know, Lord of the Rings. British, probably.
I'm a hobbit.
Yeah.
No admittance except on party business.
That was perfect.
Thank you.
And that was on the door, and I was like, oh, they did it.
They scamps.
Yeah.
And
Because I'd been asking for it. I was like, come on, let's do it. Because I want to have fun. That's all we have now, is things like that.
yeah, of course.
We've
and
lost
so that's
so
fun,
much.
and you kept the sign.
Yeah, I did. I'm going to put it like somewhere in the room. Anyway, so I walked in, and my mom had gotten all these little vines and hung them from like the ceiling and the doors and the little chandelier thing. And she had this big tree thing up that looked like Lord of the Rings. And she had like all this Lord of the Rings stuff everywhere.
Wow.
It was awesome. So then I go to bed that night, and I was like, oh, I'm not feeling great now.
Getting worse.
Now I'm starting to feel a little
And what are the symptoms at this point?
just feeling a little just icky. Not like anything. I wasn't coughing. I wasn't, it just maybe my throat was hurting a little bit at this
a
point.
little bit of throat.
But that's with every cold I've ever had. It starts with a little stuffy nose, then I got a
It'd be
sore
cold.
throat.
Yeah, and
next
you're-
thing you know,
You're a little more active now that you're vaccinated and you were doing stuff and you were singing places. And
Yeah.
so a cold isn't out of the question.
Definitely because I got a cold not that long ago.
Yeah.
So anyway,
But the question is, inside your nose,
Mm-hmm.
the thickness and the viscosity, what was happening up there?
I don't know. I mean, nothing was happening. Nothing was coming
Nothing
out.
was
It was
coming
just
out.
stuffy. It was just
So
stuffy.
what do you do in that situation? Do you really
Just can't
blow
breathe.
hard?
It was like literally like a, I couldn't breathe. It was like just congested.
Was it like
that.
this? Like
Sure.
Luke.
Yeah.
Did you say Luke a lot?
I was saying
Okay. She's
Luke.
Oh,
like
there
that.
we go. Okay. Why did it take so long? You held your nose. And then
I
you
wanted to
said
get into the
nothing.
character.
Okay. Sorry.
Anyway, so I went outside, hanging with my sister by the pool.
Yeah.
And we were across, we were still, because now I was like, I don't know now.
Now you get
And she
worse.
was like, you probably have a cold. You probably have a cold. You're vaccinated. I was like, nah, man, something ain't
man.
right.
These spikes.
Something ain't right.
Fucking spike.
Then I started to feel a little bit hot, or like feverish.
But, we are in Texas.
And I was
Gilmer is in
outside.
Texas outside?
I was
It's
outside.
hot.
So I was like, I need to go, let's go inside and let me check my temperature and see,
Yeah.
And then I had a temperature and I
What was
went,
the
I got a
temperature?
motherfucking fever. It was like 99. But listen, y'all,
99?
I run cold. So
What's your normal
it's
temp?
never 98.6. It's usually
Like
lower than that.
97.2?
Yeah, it's usually lower than that. So I was like, I have COVID. I just knew it because I don't get a fever when I have a cold. I just had a feeling and I started to feel achy. My fingers and my wrists and my ankles and
Both
stuff were starting to
wrists.
feel achy.
Wow.
So they're supposed to call me. They don't motherfucking call me. So I call them. And I'm like, they're like, if you haven't heard from us by 3:00, it's 3:30. I call them. And they're like, oh, yeah, you have it.
Okay. This medical system out there is.
I'm walking
fucked up.
around with COVID. Y'all aren't going to fucking call me as soon as you get the result. When I'm positive, I get it if I'm negative. But if I'm positive, the second you get that fucking information, you need to let me know.
That's a public health issue.
Exactly. So
at
anyway,
this point. Okay.
I had COVID. Then I
Gilmer,
proceeded to feel
come on,
like
get this together. There's a woman who can't shoot snot out of her nose. I mean, that's
God.
sign one.
yeah. So anyway, then I got, a fever. I had a fever and I felt shitty. And
Were you okay? Can I ask you about your mental state?
Yes,
were you
yes.
like when you found out the diagnosis? Were you scared?
I was scared because
Were
I had been
you-
around my family.
Okay,
and I was
not
like,
scared for yourself.
No,
you
no,
knew
no.
the vaccine
I knew I was fine.
effective.
I knew I was going to be fine. I was scared because I thought, oh God, I hope I haven't given this to my mom. Like that's the last thing I would want in this world is to give this to my mom.
Right. Yeah.
But we had been very safe. So the second that I found out I had COVID, the way I am is like disaster preparedness. I went, Rachel, move the couches. So we took the couch, we took it across the room to the other side.
You got it.
And we have a large house in East Texas. It's like,
Well, now it's a brag, but go on.
in East Texas, you can get a very large house for a very small family.
Just stop. Oh, now it's very large. Okay.
No, it's a big house. Anyway, so we spread it out, and we
All
spread
right.
it out. We moved
Jeff
the couch
Bezos
way over.
called. He
We moved
likes
the
your
couch way
house.
over, and my mom brought home a plexiglass thing she has as her office for
Okay.
mediations and
well,
stuff.
this is overkill.
We took the plastic stuff, you drop cloth stuff that you use to when you paint, and we put it around me,
Wow.
and I made a pod.
Yeah.
Because we were like, we don't want to, they didn't want me to have to stay in the guest bedroom the whole time. It was my birthday. We wanted to hang around each other. So we all put face shields, masks, split up, and I went into this plastic pod.
and no one got
No,
sick.
no one got COVID.
Okay.
Oh, also the plexiglass thing had a little square cutout at the bottom where I used a vent, that you know on your air conditioner vents,
Okay.
the plastic things that
Oh.
kind of direct the air. I used that to separate out, and I would pull my food from under the little slot and slide it back
You're
in.
the bubble boy.
It was insane. Like
You're
it
the
was
bubble boy.
really protected.
Here's what's going on. If I have my daughter, let's say I'm a dad,
Mm-hmm.
my daughter comes home, she gets a COVID diagnosis. You know where she's staying at my
In the
house?
guest room.
No, she's staying outside.
No.
She's in her car or she's in a tent.
But
I'll
also- Mm-hmm.
go, listen, I'll go buy her a tent and that's fine. She can stay out in the 90, 100 degree heat.
But we listen
in
to
her
science.
own tent. Well, science, what is science?
The science has
Let me
said-
break it down for you. Science is
Are you going to do an acrostic?
S. The S stands for she.
Sometimes
No, she.
it's
Okay.
inevitable.
You skipped the C.
sometimes
You can't. See, I was going to say she can't.
inside, even? Never.
Yeah.
Come on. 11.
Okay. Perfect.
So yeah, she has to stay outside.
Yeah. No, so we were when I say far apart, I mean my mom was probably like 25 feet from far from me. And we did not
Well, it can travel
I mean
in
when
the
I
vents.
say
again, science.
we did not
She can't
No,
even.
but we had masks. And that's the difference is that we followed what the CDC said about it's not even counted as an exposure if you're both masked.
Wow. Someone read the CDC website and it shows.
I read a lot of things while I was fucking in that pod for 2 weeks. I read
2
a lot of
weeks,
fucking
14
things.
days.
Well, technically, yeah. Well, no, I got there on a Wednesday and I left on. I was there for longer than 2 weeks, but it was in the pod. Like pretty much. I mean, we got once my 10 days were up, we were a little less hardcore about the face shield on top of the mask and everything.
Right.
But yeah, we.
How
fucking
many?
locked it down.
So you were obviously feeling some semi-mild symptoms. I mean, a fever can be very
I
uncomfortable.
felt like
but
I
yeah.
had the
How bad?
flu, but I had the flu, not like anything where I was like couldn't breathe. I never had coughing, none.
Oh, that's
the whole
great.
entire time.
Okay.
I didn't have to take any medicine. It resolved on its own, and I'm fine. I'm totally fine now. I've been going on runs.
So what did you?
I don't have a depleted fucking lung capacity now, like people who didn't get vaccinated. Which would have been devastating for me as a singer.
I mean, the whole thing could be very devastating.
Mm-hmm.
So the what sort of things did you do that you found helped with some of the symptoms?
I took Tylenol for my fever. And I would that's all when I tell y'all, it was uncomfortable because having a fever is uncomfortable. But I never it wasn't even as bad as colds that I have where I'm coughing the whole night and I can't sleep because I'm coughing so much.
And then that makes it worse because the next
Yeah.
day you're tired and your body's been fighting an internal war.
And my family's so sweet. They took Diddy and slept with Diddy while I was my dog, my
Yeah.
puppy, because that way I could sleep in and stuff. So I got rest, Granted, the main thing that was going through my mind when I got it was, fuck, I hope I didn't give it to my mom. And the second thing was, this is my birthday and I actually came home to just
be in a pod.
relax.
Oh.
I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah.
And then I wasn't doing anything, but it was I wasn't doing anything because I really couldn't.
Because you were trapped. You couldn't do necessarily the fun things you had wanted to
And my
do.
number one symptom was I was so fucking tired.
Yeah.
I was just tired. I just felt like going outside and sitting by the pool. I would just be like, oh, I've got to go inside. It was too much on me. I just wanted to rest. My body
Some
wanted to
people
rest.
mentioned diarrhea as a symptom.
Did not have diarrhea, had constipation.
The
if you want
opposite.
to know. Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like things were stuck in your nose.
things were stuck in my
your butt.
butt. And things were stuck in my vagina, but that had nothing to do with COVID.
Well, that was part of the fun part.
Well, it was my birthday.
You gotta have fun on your birthday.
There were candlesticks.
Candlestick lit.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah. That's like what they do with earwax, but with.
So
Your
it
vagina.
drains. Okay.
Anyway, so I got some Lord of the Rings themed presents, which my mom got me these beautiful napkins, cloth napkins for my dining table that have Lord of the Rings stuff on them.
Oh,
and-
cool.
I don't know if you saw back here. Oh, so we moved all of the
I
decorations.
don't know if you noticed. I said, "Oh, cool," and I was being sarcastic.
I did. And we moved all of the decorations from the dining room to my pod. I decorated my whole pod with Lord of the Rings stuff. I even put the little vines around my plexiglass and everything.
This is pathetic.
And then we sat and watched all of the Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit.
Did you watch the extended cuts?
Okay, well, this is what's so fucked up is I didn't know there were extended cuts until the fucking last movie. So we watched the last one with extended cuts, but I didn't get to see extended cuts of the first two.
Are the extended cuts on HBO Max or something?
Yeah.
Oh,
They are.
That's too bad.
Yeah.
Well, that seems like a mistake on HBO Max's part that it wouldn't be clear when you're about to watch the one
You sure you want to watch
hey,
extended
there's
cut?
other people
know.
like this one too.
Especially someone who's seen it a million times. I would love to have watched the
5
extended
hours worth. And guess who has 5 hours is our little pod friend.
Exactly. I had all the time in the fucking world.
Yeah.
So,
but you didn't, you had all the time in the world and yet you didn't really talk to me much.
Well, I want to thank. When I tell you, I was like really exhausted.
Okay,
I
well,
want to
now you're
thank my
exhausted. Yeah,
mom
yeah.
and my sister. Oh, I did lose all my sense of smell and taste.
Oh, and did your phone break? Did you drop it in the pool or something?
that was a previous trip to
Okay.
Gilmer. But I do want to thank my mom and sister because they made all my meals for me. They pretty much did everything for me for like 2 weeks, and they were wonderful. And it was honestly, it sucked, but at the same time, it was nice to
Yeah.
spend time with my family.
And they ultimately did not get your sickness.
And you know why?
Because you listened to
'Cause we listened.
a little thing
And-
called She Can't Inside.
Mm-hmm.
Even
Never.
never.
Come on.
Come on. 11.
And also, not just because we were masked and distanced, but because they were vaccinated.
You got to be vaxxed.
John Michael Taylor slept with me in this bed all up until the day that I went to Gilmer,
Yeah.
and he didn't get it either.
His ass vaxxed.
I went to an event the night before. I sat with Johnny Gowdy and did a podcast in the same room with him. I did not give it to any of those people. They all got tested.
Yeah.
Because I'm vaccinated, you do not transmit as much when you're vaccinated.
And let me pull down the curtain for those of you who've never podcasted with Laura. When you podcast with her, welcome to Spit Town.
I have
Because
not
this
spit
woman
on you.
projectile spits.
I've never spit on you.
I mean, if you knew the amount of COVID that would be in her spit,
Yeah.
it would be insane.
Yeah.
She'd be showering poor
Yeah.
Johnny Gowdy with hot, fresh, spiked proteins.
What a podcast. That was crazy too.
I listened to it.
Did you? Was it good?
I
didn't
liked
listen to
the
it.
parts where I was mentioned.
Were you mentioned?
What do you mean? Yeah, multiple times.
I got to tell you, we'll get to this because I want to
Well,
talk
we
about
don't
you
need
now.
to get
I want
to
to talk
it.
about you now,
It's-
but what I was going to say is I'm so like out of it, man, that I don't know what I'm saying or doing.
Listen,
like, I don't
here's the thing
remember
about
doing that.
Laura Lee Bishop. She had COVID, but she's also been doing so many projects. She's sort of blowing up a little bit. It makes you feel inadequate
I'm sorry.
as a friend. You
Well,
say,
we need to get
"What's
this
going on with
podcast
me?"
going.
Well, and again, guys,
Okay.
we got a big announcement coming. Probably not for,
I would say
a few episodes, which could be 6 months from now.
No,
because
it's
we
not going to
release
be. We're not doing it that
episodes
way.
slow.
We're not going to do it that way. I'm going to
Well-
say I'm giving us like a month to get this shit going. Like, I'm not fucking
guys,
around anymore.
okay, just
I
to-
am 34 years old now.
Boy, mid-30s.
Okay, and I do want to say I look fucking good for 34.
I
Not
look-
a touch of Botox has been on this body.
I look great if I was 48, and people would say, "You're 48."
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
So I kind of keep that in my mind, and I'm also telling people I'm 48.
yeah, yeah.
And they say, "No, you're not."
Yeah, you should say
And I say,
you should
"Yeah, I
see my
am. I
ball
just
sack.
look hot." Yeah, my
Yeah.
balls.
My balls are 48, I'll tell you that.
You know how some people
if
mark?
these balls could talk,
What would they say?
you could tell me. I know they've tasted soy sauce.
No admittance. That was a
Except on
callback.
party business.
Penises,
Yeah,
guys.
love 'em.
We remember our roots.
God, speaking of our roots,
Okay,
I have not.
Laura's looking into the
Well, I
air,
was just
into the
thinking,
distance.
you know, we're thinking about our podcast.
her
We've
eyes
been
are
talking
clouding
about our
over. Now
podcast.
she's closed her eyes.
And I haven't. We haven't talked. We haven't said that. We used to always. I used to always say, "Let's see each other naked." Oh, let's see your penis. Blah blah blah. Used to be
Yeah.
just like go to, and
Thank
that
you.
joke has not happened because now it's just too real.
Because if you asked to see my penis,
You'd show me.
I'd say, sure.
We're on that level where it's like,
And
all
I'd
right,
say,
fine, get
look
over here,
at this
bitch.
mole.
Look at this. Yeah.
Do you want to examine this mole?
Yeah. And I know you have a mole on your penis.
It's not. It's
A
not really
freckle?
on the penis.
Okay.
It's sort of. Well, maybe one is,
Okay.
but it's
There's
more.
multiple
It's
moles.
more at the. I mean, it's at the base. So I don't know. You know who can say where the penis begins and
That's true.
the pubic area begins,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
that's my spin-off podcast.
Well,
it's
you
going to be
have-
called "Where Does the Penis Begin?"
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
It's going to be
popular.
great. I'm rooting for you. But you've had a lot of developments.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I haven't told you this, so this
Me?
is you don't know this. This is
Wait, stop. Joe,
someone
what?
is engaged.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Why have you not told me this?
Yeah, it's
No, wait. Stop. Okay, we have a lot to talk about off mic.
Okay. Well, so friend of the show, Pat Jybowski, got engaged.
Oh my God.
And
Joe you motherfucker. I swear to God, I was going to actually have like a talking with you. I was sitting over here like, okay, this motherfucker's about to hear some shit from me.
I thought of that in the car ride over because my friend Pat, he listens to the show. He's a big fan. He actually
Because, oh my God, I was about to get actually mad at you, not because you didn't tell me, just for a lot of things. We were going to talk. I was like, what?
Oh my gosh, that went so much better than I thought it would.
I wish there
go.
could have been a camera on my face because I was
you didn't know how to react.
Well, because it's recorded.
Yeah.
And so if you were really
It was
engaged, I
so
wouldn't want to
funny.
create a rift with the fiance.
Right. No,
I
it
would
was
be happy
so
for
funny.
you, but I would have a lot
No,
of questions.
you would say it's too soon.
It's too
which
fucking
I agree.
soon.
I agree. No, that's why I thought it was funny because we haven't talked for a while. And no, Pat, congratulations,
My heart is
Rebecca.
beating fast.
And Pat, he let me tell you about his engagement video, okay?
Congrats to Pat.
Congrats to Pat.
Yeah.
His voice was on the episode released
Yes,
today.
love him.
He loves our show podcast. Pat, I'm sorry we've been slow with episodes,
yeah.
but he went up on a mountaintop. Okay, already picturesque, right?
Yes.
So he
Depending on the mountain.
goes on a climb. It's in
Mount Doom or Mordor. Not picturesque.
Oh, the nerds are gonna like this episode. So he goes up this mountain with his now fiance
Betrothed.
and her sister. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So the plan is
Freaky deaky.
sister takes a photo.
Sister
It's the classic
takes
like
it from behind.
she's taking a photo.
That's the title of my next podcast.
But the cool thing is Pat has a drone and he set it up where the drone is just circling them like on autopilot or
Yeah.
whatever. And so you have this incredible mountaintop footage
But now
with
she
all
knows.
these other.
But now she
didn't
knows.
know because Pat's doing drone shit all the time.
Oh, he's one of those.
So he's like,
Okay.
oh, let's do a photo. Because he said that she really didn't see it coming. It's just this beautiful, and
Mm-hmm.
it's rotating and it's spinning around them. And you can't hear them, obviously, because it's a drone, but you just see him kind of go down and you see her
Oh, go
cover
down
her
on her?
face. And it's just this really beautiful.
With the pillow?
Beautiful moment.
What was his sister involved for?
She was just there to pretend to take the photo. So it's like they were, it's like that thing. They're standing next
Mm-hmm.
to each other, and then she thinks they're just posing, and then he's secretly crouching, and then he goes down on her to give her a ring.
Of course. I love that part.
So great, happy for them.
Congrats. What was her name? Oh, sorry, wrong
Rebecca.
one. Rebecca.
Rebecca
Wrong
and Pat, you had a meltdown, and it was really fun to watch.
I didn't have a meltdown. I just
You did have a physical reaction.
internally I was thinking, okay, well, now I'm gonna have to talk. Like I'm gonna have to actually do this thing that I don't want to do when this is over.
Yeah. That was really funny.
Because when you're a friend, and this podcast about friendship, sometimes you have to say the thing that your friend doesn't want to hear.
Yeah.
And I'm that friend where I go, you know what? I'm going to support you 100%.
Yeah.
And never think I'm judging you, but I'm going to say this one time. I'm
You
just going to
gotta
say it to you so
no,
you know.
you gotta say it.
Your husband touched my penis, and then
Your penis. Yeah. No, you would want them to know that.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, you would
and
want to
then
say,
I say, but if you stay with him, listen, I'm never going to
Listen.
judge you.
Right.
And you can tell me anything, but I just want you to know I hate the person you're married to, and you made a terrible mistake.
and you know who, it's that Hillary thing where it's like, you know what? If you're friends with Hillary, you got to trust that she's had these, conversations with Bill and they've worked it out, and you have to,
Exactly.
support that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I am. I'm not I know so many people. I have so many friends who I fucking hate.
But as a friend, I do think
The
it is.
person
You
they're
also,
married to or dating.
it's worth bringing up because you don't want it to not be said.
Some people, sometimes it changes your mind. I mean, sometimes I've had friends talk to me about things in my life where it's like maybe not in that moment, but then I go home and then I'm laying in bed and I'm thinking about it, and you have realization. So yeah, I was going to talk to you and just say it was early.
No, I know.
And
Oh man, that went honestly. It occurred to me in the car.
I love the person you're dating though. So it's not any reflection on her.
No, I agree. That's why. But
Knowing
that's why I
you-
thought it would be funny.
Knowing you,
And
it was
you-
really shocking.
It was very exciting. Anyway, my other big news
Yes.
is that I'm in a new condo,
Hell yeah.
and I've
Not
I've
just
gone
in a
through
new
that
condo.
process.
You own the condo. You're a
I-
homeowner.
Well, I'm paying for it. You know,
You're a homeowner.
I'm a homeowner.
Homeowner. You're doing
And
it.
yeah, well, I'm already like experiencing the homeowner issues. Like,
yeah.
my air conditioning doesn't always work.
Don't get me started. Well, you need to. That's something. There's things you need to talk to John about too.
Can John fix my HVAC?
John can get money from people who maybe said that they had a working air conditioner who do not have a working air conditioner.
Oh,
things
I
like
see.
that.
Oh, I see.
John can take care of some stuff. For you.
Okay. Well, I don't. I think
John M. Taylor Coughlin in Austin, Texas. You can look him up. Taylor
they specialize-
Coughlin in real estate. Yeah, real estate law.
specialize in real estate law.
Look him up.
No, but it's. I mean, I would say in general, I'm really pleased with my purchase because I still have Redfin and I check that app like every day.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not like, I'm amazed. You know, I closed on July 26th
Mm.
and it's whatever, late August.
Mm-hmm.
And in all that time, nothing's come on Redfin where I'm like, ooh, I should have waited for that,
Yeah.
or that was a better
So
deal,
now it's
or
time for
that
you
was
to
a
stop
better.
checking. Yeah.
No, I think I'm going to still check because now I'm
Now you
what
want to
they
acquire
call
real estate.
I'm a real estate mogul.
You are, mm-hmm.
because what I've done is I found the diamond in the rough.
Yeah.
And I found it and I said, this is mine. Mm-hmm. And I bought it. And
Yeah.
now my brain, again, a real estate brain, a smart
course, of
brain,
course, yeah,
one
yeah.
of the best brains in the real estate game,
Of course. Yeah.
is saying, my brain is saying, that's a property. And I'm saying,
that's a property.
now that's a property.
Oh, now that one's got a property on it.
And I'm going to sell, buy, sell,
Buy,
buy,
sell, yeah.
sell, rent,
Rent it out. Rent
hold,
it out. Hold it.
hold it.
Yeah. Wait.
Now make 10 extra dollars.
Yeah.
So you buy it for 1 million. You sell it for 1,000,010.
Exactly.
I'm
You
gonna.
do that with a bunch of properties. See, what you guys don't understand is you're not just doing it with one. You're doing it
That's
with a
where
bunch.
a lot of people make the mistake.
like-
They spend 1 million, they make the 10, and
Yeah.
they say, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I say, no.
No.
You do it with a bunch of properties.
Of course.
You make
do it with a bunch of
10.
properties.
And then,
Exactly.
once you build that 10,
Yeah.
now you know what you do? You buy a $2 million house and you make 20.
Exactly.
20, 30, 30.
Sure.
And I will be doing a TED Talk as soon as my application is accepted.
Of course.
The name of my TED Talk.
And I'll be real, it seems like anyone can get a TED Talk these days.
Well, not according to
gotta be
my
very
correspondences.
Yeah.
But the name of my TED Talk is 20, 30, 40, 40.
I love that. I love that for you. I'm so glad you have a place. I told you it makes me happy because there was a time when you were like looking to move to LA a lot. And I was like, what are you doing? Don't leave me.
Yeah.
But we were too early in our friendship for me to say that.
But you did. Yet
No, I
she
didn't.
persisted.
I didn't say that, did I?
No, you did. You said, don't move, don't ever leave me.
I didn't say that, I don't think.
And it was
But I would say that
nice.
now. I'd say, don't go.
But I think that's the other thing about the real estate game, is like,
Yeah.
yes, I quote unquote bought a place, but I can also sell a place.
You can also
And
rent
so-
a place out.
Right. And you can also rent a place out. So I didn't see it as me like, because it's hard for me to commit. Speaking of not being engaged.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was
It's
like,
hard to
well,
commit. So, so yeah, like the idea, I had to
I
remind
cannot
myself
believe
that
you did that to me.
that's going to be a good promo though. Don't you think?
Oh my God.
The promo
It
is
shocked
someone's
me.
engaged.
It was just shocking. I mean, think about it, really.
No, I
From
know.
my perspective.
That's why.
I'm like, what? And first of all, the fact that you wouldn't have told me like already.
But I thought in my
It's
head, I
shocking.
thought you'd be more skeptical.
But you know the reason that I thought maybe it was true
yeah.
is when you first said it, I went, he was asking me, am I getting my texts? And
Oh,
I was like, oh,
and you were
fuck. Mm-hmm.
like, oh, did she get the
Yeah,
one
yeah, yeah.
text? Well, guys, again, this went much better than I expected because I thought you'd be skeptical and I thought you'd understand that I said someone's engaged. I thought you'd pick up on that right away.
Yeah, but I mean,
But
I thought you were
It
too
worked
scared to
well.
really say it to me in a way
yeah, exactly.
because you thought
no. Oh,
I was going to come down on you.
fantastic. Guys, this is Austin's #1 friendship-based podcast.
For
and
now.
it's for reasons like that.
Yeah.
You got to surprise your friend.
Keep them guessing. Always
Keep 'em
keep them guessing. But in all honesty, guys, Joe is in a very healthy, stable, beautiful relationship.
Thank you.
And I've met his future fiance, maybe.
Okay.
You know?
No.
You see, the truth comes out. No, and she's really wonderful. Except I do want to talk to you about something.
On air?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
It's podcast friendly.
Okay, don't talk about her though. Is it about her or is it
It's not
about
about
me?
her as a person. It's just about something. It's just about a notion about you having people help you move. I want to talk about that.
Okay, let's go there.
Okay.
Because this is related to the condo. And first let me just say, I don't want to talk about her too much because I don't think she wants us to.
Okay.
But
has that been said explicitly?
she
Like,
was
don't fucking
nervous
talk about
that
me.
we would
Make
have
it
talked
jokes.
about her
Make
or
some
something.
jokes.
And
We haven't.
well, that's why I said I just kind of mentioned that she existed.
Yeah, we
But
haven't said anything.
all I want to say is she was the hero of the move.
I'm sure she was.
Because she helped me really get everything from the old place to the new place.
Mm-hmm.
Now I reserved a U-Haul van,
Good.
but between me, her, and it was mostly it was mostly me because I had been moving for a couple weeks by myself, but I didn't really kick it up until the final weekend, obviously, because why would you?
Yeah.
Want
Do
to be
work that you don't have to
comfortable.
do, yeah.
So she really kicked it into I did slightly more moving, but she really did so much. And then I had another guy help on the final day.
Mm-hmm.
But she was the hero. I really could not have moved without her.
Mm-hmm.
And so now you want to say something.
I just want to
Negative.
say, I want to say that it's fucking crazy that at our age, that anyone is helping I'm 34. I'm not going to help anyone move anymore.
I know. I know. You made that.
But see, now I
very
can't
clear.
say what I want to say.
Well, but
because I can't say what I want. I can't say it.
Well, here's the other thing.
My hands are tied.
You say at our age, right? Mm-hmm. That's why I asked a guy who's 22.
There you go.
And I asked, I don't even know if I
And what,
asked
did you give him
her,
anything?
but she's in her 20s too.
Okay, but she said something that really struck a chord with me.
Okay, I don't know if I want to talk about it.
Okay, fine.
But I think
We'll talk about it off mic, though.
she, again, is the hero.
Okay.
And again, I did feel, because I've seen the memes that are when you're 30, don't ask your, it's not worth slipping a disc for
Honestly,
moving
I have a
your
bad
friend.
back.
No, I agree. Right. So I read those
fucking
memes
back
and then
goes
I
out.
said, okay, I'm only going to ask people who are younger than me. And the guy who, the agreement with the guy who's 22 is he's a coworker. And I said, he was like, well, will you help me move a piano to my apartment at some point? And I said, yes.
Okay.
So it's a good deal for me. I bought him brunch
Okay.
and then I'm going to help him move his piano.
Okay.
So again, happy ending. I did listen to your, I guess, quote, advice,
Thank you.
which
Appreciate
was
that.
people our age don't do that. So
No,
I didn't
well, it
ask people
wasn't-
our age.
I didn't say it that way. I just said we're at the age now where you could just pay a couple guys to fucking move your shit.
No, and that's the thing when you book with U-Haul,
Mm-hmm.
when you're checking out at the U-Haul, it has options for people, and it's
Yeah.
$87 an hour. You get Denise
that's
and
not bad.
Phil, and they'll
Yeah.
come help you move for the hourly rate, and they have a minimum of 2 hours. So no,
not bad.
I was like, that's really cheap.
Yeah. So just do your big. You could do all your small stuff. You could have them say. You could say, "Get the couch, get the da da da," and
Yeah.
fill the U-Haul, and then you do the.
Well, that's
the little
that's
boxes.
basically what we did. Is
Yeah.
we did the little stuff. Nicole and I did most of the little stuff,
Mm-hmm.
and then the next day, we did the big stuff.
And I'm telling you,
with
this
the
is
three of
coming from
us.
someone who, every single thing in this house, we moved. John and I, we carried this dresser up the stairs. We carried
No.
our couch inside.
And I
We didn't
agree.
have anyone
I
help
didn't
us.
like
But
it.
God damn it. We were doing it now at where we are now, I'd have been like, let's go, Diane. And what
you'd
was
be
the
snapping.
other person's name?
Denise
Denise
and Phil.
and Phil.
Yeah.
Please. I'm not doing it anymore.
No,
and
I agree.
would snap at them.
And I think it is that thing, and I think this happens every time I've moved, where you're like, I'm in a 1-bedroom apartment. I ended up selling my biggest furniture, which was like a love seat and a kitchen table set. So I got rid of those things.
You're getting new ones?
And I threw away my mattress and box spring.
Good for you. Yeah.
So it was
a
like
lot had happened.
When
on
I
that.
get rid of those things,
I mean, just with you, not with other people. But
I'm like, there's not that much. I don't want to pay Denise and Phil when there's not that much. But then it's like once you box everything up, it's a lot of boxes. It's a lot of stairs. I'm moving from a second floor, so I have to bring everything down. And then I'm moving, the new place is a third floor, so I'm moving it up. And by the way, it's August in Texas, and it's not as hot as it normally is,
But it's still hot.
but it's not good. So no, I agree. I mean, I think ultimately, if I had been on more of a time crunch, and if I had realized how much everything is once you put it in boxes and stuff, I probably would have just done it and
Denise
not,
and Phil.
because I don't like asking people for help. I would rather not involve other people.
Yeah.
So yes, in the future, maybe I would.
Cool.
And I'm starting to like buy furniture I actually care about and like, so I'd probably want to move it in the future.
Yeah.
And so for the next move, probably wouldn't want to do it myself.
Yeah. Well, I'm so happy you own real estate here in Austin, Texas.
Guys,
It just makes me feel like you're here to stay.
It's a
little bit,
real
you know?
estate town,
You got
and
a
again-
girlfriend. You got a fucking condo. You got a best friend. Now all you need's a dog.
there's a cat. I don't know if you saw my Instagram
Yeah,
stories.
I saw you. You told me about a
It
cat.
seems
didn't
like you don't keep up on my life.
I want to.
But
I really
yeah, there's
want-
a neighborhood cat, and the cat's great. I actually really liked the cat. So, maybe a cat or a dog.
Don't get a cat.
Okay.
I want to talk.
Don't
I want to say
judge.
something controversial.
Okay. Oh, no.
What is it with you dudes with fucking cats? I got to say, there's something about these guys.
Sexist too.
Yeah, there's something about these guys. And you know what it is? It's synthwave people. No offense. But all these
Oh my God, you're fans.
these synthwave dudes with their fucking cats.
Oh my God.
How many cats do y'all fucking have? Like, Jesus, get a fucking dog. Grow up here and get a fucking dog, dude.
Dude, oh my God.
No, but for real though, these synthwave people with their fucking cats. Like,
Okay.
all of them have cats. And I know one of them whose cat's named Dustin. That's a human name.
All right. Wow. You're singling out one clearly
It's my friend. He's
fan.
my friend. He's my friend. He would laugh if he heard this. But his cat's name is Dustin.
If he heard it, he's not a fan of the podcast.
He's a fan of me. I don't know if he's a fan of
Again,
the podcast.
this is the problem. If you're a fan of Laura, you should listen to the
he's
podcast.
kind of a fan of me because, well, we don't have to go into that.
But listen to the podcast.
Yeah, for now, while you can.
Okay, guys, that was maybe a little bit of a deep tease. But again, there's exciting news.
There's exciting
It's
news
exciting
happening.
news.
Yeah. Things we like to keep things fresh. We didn't get to be number one by just being complacent,
Right.
and being
Thank you.
content and having peace inside of our hearts with our lives. Okay,
You have
We didn't-
crazy eyes right now.
We didn't get here by being well adjusted.
No,
all right,
certainly not.
So expect us to change it up.
Hey, ever heard of the blue period?
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
That's what I'm
Heard
talking
of it.
about.
Don't know a lot about it.
Don't know, but I
I've
just
heard
know
about it,
there's
yeah.
different periods
The
in an
Renaissance.
artist's career.
Yeah.
You have different periods.
Yeah, for sure.
You know about periods?
All right. Well, don't point at me.
What?
I don't really get them anymore because
No,
I
I
got
was
this
just-
IUD.
Oh.
I actually just ordered a pack of 3 pregnancy tests
Okay.
because you never get your fucking period with this IUD. And I'm like, I could be pregnant. I could be I didn't know I was pregnant, sitting on the toilet and pop a baby
Right, you're
out.
drinking a beer right now.
Exactly. And I wouldn't want to do that.
No. Anyway, let's get back to you. So we talked about me.
Yeah.
You're busy and things are exciting. They're
Mm.
happening. What are the updates in that realm?
I just sold out of my vinyl.
Vinyl albums.
Vinyl.
Everyone said vinyl's dead.
It
You're a
ain't
fool. You're a fool.
You're a
Why
fool.
are you buying vinyl?
I sold out.
They're
Well,
back.
I held some copies back for my live shows and for issues, vinyl, issues. Also, they're not all perfect.
What do
I
you
have
mean
a
by
few
that?
copies that like maybe the corner was bent a little bit or something that I don't want to like sell to people.
So defective. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you get a refund on that?
I don't know.
Okay.
And I don't think so. And they're very expensive. But anyway, I figured I could sell them at shows. Somebody can see them. And if they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, be
take
like, buy this one if you don't have a record player.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Yeah. Well, the record play, actually buy it if you do have a record player and you don't care what the outside looks like. Because the vinyl itself are fine. It's like some issues on the outside. Anyway, whatever. Sold out of those. Working on my new album. It's good. It has acoustic guitars in it.
Acoustic?
Acoustic guitars in it.
Okay. I like that
It's a change-up.
because I think, and again, you didn't ask, but I'll tell you.
Yeah, tell me.
And this is what friends do. They get real. I think your talent goes beyond a genre.
Thank you.
And
This shit's holding
sometimes
me
I
back.
feel like your natural music ability, especially in terms of your voice, it sometimes gets covered up, and people might think, oh, it's a 001 code that makes the voice, and so it's
doesn't.
like you strip away some of that stuff, and then you say, well, what we're left with is an acoustic guitar
Yeah.
and a voice.
Yeah. So it's going to be a lot different.
That was really beautiful what I said, but you
It
kinda
was,
moved
and
on,
I appreciate your fandom.
well, it's
Thank
not
you.
a fandom at this point. It's it's just a friend. It's
Yeah.
a friend
Friendom.
saying what they think.
Yeah. I'm very excited about it. I'm working really hard on it to get it done.
Now, when's this going to drop?
I want it
Tomorrow?
to come out. I want it to come out next year, obviously, but I want it to come out
Next year?
in the. Yeah, no one's gonna. I'm not gonna release in the fucking winter, dude. No.
What do you mean? People need to stay
No,
warm.
I do have a couple collabs coming out in the fall and winter, but
What about that music video that people were really demanding?
yeah, I need to do something about that. I could probably put it on OnlyFans.
No?
Am I allowed to even say OnlyFans right now?
Well, you can because you're not having sex on it.
Now, yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to I feel really bad for sex workers, but it's exactly what I said was going to happen, which is it's going to go in the direction of being like Patreon, except a better interface.
When it does suck because I always hate it is that thing. I mean, people have been making the comparison. It's like McDonald's saying, you know what, we don't do burgers anymore. It's like you built
never did
your
burgers.
platform. Well, that's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying you built your platform on this identity. And then you're like, no, we want to make, and it's like they made they took in $2 billion and they took 20% of that, which seems pretty good in math terms.
Well, they're going to make more. I believe they'll make more money doing what they just did because I think it will become very mainstream like other social media platforms. It's going to be like a members only Instagram. A lot of people are going to start joining it because
but don't you think
but
they're already mainstream? I mean, I think brand recognition wise, everyone knows what it is.
I know, but they're not people wouldn't sign up for my OnlyFans because of that. They were like, I'm not going to please be on, they would DM me. I'm not going to sign up for OnlyFans. Please do a Patreon. Put the same stuff on Patreon. I'm not going to sign because of the connotation of it.
Yeah.
It's just off-putting
Which
for
I
people.
do get, but I am still like the idea of getting rid of it. Like me, why as a business person, and again, I'm sort of like smart financially speaking, like why wouldn't you say we'll have OnlyFans, which is going to be, safer content or whatever. And then we're going to have OnlyFans X.
Yeah, I
and
don't
that's where, because I'm like,
Maybe
why
they
would you
will, though.
turn away that money?
Maybe they will.
And then,
Well, because they're turning away a lot of other money. They can't have an app. I mean, do you know how annoying it is for
'cause
me?
the Apple Store.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like they're going to make money. They're turning away a lot of money right now without
Well, that's
doing
that
those changes.
BS
So.
of this Apple, because the Apple does that with the Chive too, and the Chive is like, I mean,
you can still post nudes on OnlyFans and stuff. It just can't be. It can't be.
I wonder how they get that because we get in trouble with the Apple Store. Like, I think the Chive app is not available on Apple right now. It's like
Sometimes it's political too. Sometimes it has nothing to do with the content,
Yeah.
like how they wouldn't offer Google Maps for a long time or something.
yeah,
They-
it's just wild that you can't. If Apple says no, you lose a huge audience.
Anyway, onlyfans.com/Primo the Alien. If you want exclusive content, I just posted songs for my new album. I'm not fucking around, y'all. I'm posting works in progress. I'm posting you as they progress, as things go on.
What's the minimum I could pay?
It's just $5.
$5 a month.
That's the thing I like about it. There's not tiers. It's
There's
$5
not
a month,
tiers, guys.
but sometimes I put a paywall on things.
Well, it's
So,
kind of like our Patreon, actually, patreon.com/heavyfriending. We theoretically have tiers, but we basically put that content up and anyone can watch
I
it.
think we should. Well, we'll
We
talk
might
about it.
revamp it.
I'm
Again,
thinking
we
we're
have
gonna-
announcements coming
Yeah.
and things happening. But
But we may be making a move to OnlyFans, in my opinion.
That's what you were going to say?
Yeah. I mean, I don't see any problem with
But
that.
I want to be topless. I told you.
You can be topless.
Can I be bottomless?
Yes, you can show your whole naked fucking body. You just can't show sex acts, I believe. So
What
it's
if
still
it's-
nudes and all that kind of stuff. You just can't show a penis going into a vagina or a penis going into a butt or a penis going into a penis. That's called docking.
What about a penis going into an inanimate object?
I don't know. I mean, I'll have to read up on it, but I know that it's still going to be nudes and stuff. Like,
Okay, well, thank
so
God.
there's plenty of creators who are unaffected. It's mainly people who are
That's true.
showing who are doing porn essentially.
Well, and really, Pornhub should have a
They
thing
have,
for that.
FYI, they do. They have plenty of those things. This is not the first and only subscription-based pornography thing where
then
you can
we'll be
subscribe.
fine.
The
You know,
world
you
will be
guys,
fine, but
I think we'll be
It's just
okay.
a lot of people were on. People have lost their channels, and like all their subscribers. People are bringing in like a
Yeah, they
lot
could
of
bring
money.
some of them. I mean, I've heard million a month or
Same.
millions.
It's insane.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
and you were saying off mic. You said I make $2 million a week.
Yeah, a week.
Yeah.
But that's just
crazy.
and that's without even nudes. So
Yeah, and if you subscribe to the nudes one,
fuck, if I did nudes, I could make so much money.
dude,
It's so tempting. We've
I'd
talked about
love
it.
to do nudes.
It's so tempting because I don't care really, but the old mister over here. No, also it's distracting from my music, so I'm not going to do that. But anyway,
no, I think I think if you can
OnlyFans.com
avoid
/
it.
heavy friending if you want to see us naked.
OnlyFans, we don't have that.
No, we don't.
Someone's gonna steal that, and then they're gonna say it's us, and it'll be a
And cut our heads
photoshopped.
off.
Although, could we just make an
couldn't do that
OnlyFans
ourselves.
where we Photoshop and video affect us onto porn?
I don't know why we
videos?
couldn't just show ourselves from the neck down and not show our faces.
You're saying actually shoot pornography?
Well, just not porn, but just our naked bodies.
Oh,
in
okay.
different weird,
Well,
awkward
if people
positions.
see a mole somewhere, they're
Okay,
gonna
they're
know
gonna know.
whose situation
At a
it
base
is.
and maybe on the penis.
We-
there
I-
may
I-
be two. There
I
may be
don't-
just one. We're not sure.
So yeah, I don't think I could.
Yeah. Anyway, thank you guys so much for listening to Heavy Friending.
Oh, is that the end?
I mean, I think it has to be.
Okay.
I
It
don't
just
know.
seemed
We're really doing
abrupt.
long. Okay, well,
What are you clicking?
I was looking to see how long we've been recording.
How
and
long?
Like an hour.
Oh, let's wrap it up. Thank you guys so much for listening to Heavy Friending. Again, we're counting down to something,
We don't know.
and we won't tell you
exactly.
what it is.
Yeah, because we're not sure yet, but it is something different.
It's something, and it's either good news or bad news.
Well, depending on what happens between now and when we announce it.
That's true, because we could change our
I may
plans.
be saying, guys, I'm sorry.
OnlyFans.
Joe died.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to Austin's
I think
number one
I already wrapped it
friendship-based
up. Why
podcast,
are
Heavy
you
Friending,
doing that?
Because, I did it
I already
first, and you
did
did
it.
it second. I'm doing it third.
I thought that was the out. That was already
No, I'm
after the
doing
music
it how
stopped.
I want to do it. Okay, I'm going to end this podcast the
Let's
way I
start the
started
podcast.
it, in charge. And the
it's
number
like,
one
I feel like
host.
you didn't listen when I said I wrapped it up.
I started wrapping it up first, and you stopped me.
Well, then you looked at the time, and then I agreed, and
How
then
did
I
you not
finished
feel?
the job.
Did the time pass so quickly because you were having so much fun with me? Is that something you're ready to admit yet?
Yeah, it was fun.
Okay. Well, good.
But then I didn't have fun when you ignored what I had already done, which was wrap it up.
Well, wrap it up.
3, 2, 1.
Thank you
That
guys
was
so
a
much
great
for listening
episode.
to